Dad, I got an A in the related rates test in calculus class.
Nick? Let's go ahead, plus! Okay, so you plug that number in, and then you derive that, and then you plug that into your calculator, and there's your answer.
What?
See, you just plug that in, and then derive that, and then you get that number, and then it goes into your calculator, and there's your answer.
What?
Huh?
What?
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 Huh?
What?
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 Huh? So, I'm not really here to teach you. I'm just here to take stuff. Here's this other guy's card. He's called the Godfather.
I came to see the Godfather for. I need help with calculus.
Okay. ボス、どうします？開けるよ。開けんなおめえ。
Fire! So, did you like my Japanese-speaking guards?
Yes, Godfather. I need help with related rates.
Well, as you know, I'm obliged to grant you one request on this, the day of my daughter's wedding. Have a seat. Let's begin.
お嬢が結婚？
知りませんよ。What part of related rates do you need help with?
The distances and speed for two objects moving in perpendicular directions?
Okay, first you need to identify all your values. You have x, y, and z components. You'll use the Pythagorean theorem to get any missing values later on. Set up Pythagorean theorem and take the first derivative using implicit differentiation. At that point, all you have to do is plug in the values you know and solve for the component of speed that you're looking for.
Can you give me an example?
Well, let's say two of my guys are at a corner, but the deal goes bad, and the guys run.
Takamura is 40 meters north, running at 6 meters per second north. Jimmy is 30 meters east, running at 7 meters per second east. At what rate is the distance between them increasing? First, label all your values. X equals 30, dx dt equals 7 meters per second, y equals 40, dy dt equals 6 meters per second. You don't know z, and you don't know dz dt. Then, using the Pythagorean theorem, you find the length between them is 50 meters. Next, take the derivative of x squared plus y squared equals z squared with respect to time. This leaves you with 2x dx dt plus 2y dy dt equals 2z dz dt, which simplifies to x dx dt plus y dy dt equals z dz dt. Knowing all this information, plug in your values and solve for dz dt. dz dt equals 9 meters per second.
Eventually, Jimmy and Takamura meet after getting away from the scene, but they get in a car and drive off. But now, the police are after them.
Jimmy turns a corner, heading east at some speed. The cops follow, heading south towards the corner at 25 meters per second. Now the cops are 60 meters north of the corner, and my guys are 60 meters east. If the distance between the cops and Jimmy and Takamura is changing at a rate of 15 meters per second, how fast are Jimmy and Takamura going? I'll let you do this one.
Okay, so far I know y is equal to 60 meters north, and dy dt is equal to negative 25 meters per second. I also know x is equal to 60 meters east. The distance between your men and the cops is changing at dz dt is equal to 15 meters per second. So I need to use the Pythagorean theorem and plug in x and y to find z. So z is 60 and the square root of 2. Then we need to use the Pythagorean theorem again, but we need to derive it this time. The derivative of x squared plus y squared is equal to c squared is 2x times dx dt plus 2y times dy dt is equal to 2z times dz dt. So if I simplify and plug in what I have, I can solve for dx dt, which is 46.213 meters per second. Is that right?
Yeah, it's important to remember that dy dt is negative 25 meters per second because the cops are traveling toward the corner.
Oh, so it's all about using implicit differentiation and the Pythagorean theorem to solve for the missing values. I think I get it. Thanks, Godfather.
Exactly. Now, I believe it's time for my nap. Jimmy, we forgot to tell him not to start his car.
Oh, I'm okay.
Dad, I got an A+ on this test this week. 97%.
What happened to the other 3%?
But it's an A+.
What happened to another 3%?
But it's an A+.
No, before I get mad, you better go see your tutor and get a 3% back.
But
You don't score 100% now, next year you gotta score 95.
but
No. Okay, before I get mad, go see your tutor.
but
Go see your tutor!